How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. You really know that you screwed up royally when you have prominent anti-gun Democrats coming out and saying that what the governor of New Mexico did violates the United States Constitution. When New Mexico Governor Grisham declared a public health emergency for Albuquerque and unilaterally declared all carrying of firearms illegal for 30 days. And you figure a lot of gun control advocates would celebrate this. After all, they too treat lawful gun owners as the problem rather than directing their ire toward those who got their guns illegally in the first place. Yet it seems some of the usual suspects are doing something rather surprising. They're agreeing with us. First, let's look at that punk David Hogg, who has been trying to position himself as a gun owner as of late, but we don't buy it because we haven't seen a single gun control bill he won't support. But it seems that the Hoggster, there actually is a line in the sand. I'm going to share with you what he posted on X. I support gun safety, but there is no such thing as a state public health emergency exception to the U.S. Constitution. Holy crap, did David Hogg really say that? Now, if this was just David here, it would be a story, but it wouldn't be the whole of the story. After all, he's just one guy. But yet, anti-gun representative Democrat Ted Lieu echoed the sentiment. And here's what Ted Lieu had to say. I call him Lulu. I support gun safety laws. However, this order from the governor of New Mexico violates the U.S. Constitution. No state in the Union can suspend the federal Constitution. There is no thing as a state public health emergency exception to the U.S. Constitution. Holy crap, is Ted Lieu sick? Does he have the vid? Now, both of these seem to follow a similar form. I believe in gun safety, but it sounds an awful lot like I'm a gun owner, but, and that's probably because, like your garden variety FUD, they need to remind people of their credentials. They're both anti-gun crusaders, but yet they feel like they need to speak out about this Albuquerque thing. And that brings up some interesting points of discussion. First is why? Why would they decide to stand here and now? Especially as I don't recall either taking issue with some of the blatantly anti-gun things pushed during the pandemic lockdowns, much less any other actions that were unconstitutional, and there were a lot. As I recall, they were both relatively silent. Some are speculating that what we are seeing isn't opposition to the idea, only Governor Grisham by tipping their hands, by doing too much too soon. And you can't rule that out. Yet it also may be a concern that Governor Grisham gets away with this. It would have ramifications down the line. After all, imagine if a governor had decided during the lockdowns that there could not be any protest at all due to the threat of vid spreading. How would that impacted the protests? This touches on a second point of discussion, namely that both Hogg and Lieu note that the Albuquerque order is unconstitutional, acknowledging that the right to actually bear arms. Sure, they're focused on the governor being the one to suspend the Constitution after declaring a public health emergency, particularly for Albuquerque, is protected by the Second Amendment. But in doing so, they both acknowledge that the concealed and open carry at a minimum are in fact protected by the Constitution itself. I don't know if they meant to, but that's what we're seeing here. I suspect this may in time come back to bite them in their anti-gun asses. In meantime, Governor Grisham needs to rethink her order, as even her allies aren't standing with her on this one. I think when she woke up today, she knows she royally screwed up. But if you watch my video the other day, when I played part of her news conference announcing this order, she just seemed to have this smugness about her, and that she just didn't care that she was trampling on the Second Amendment rights of the people of her state. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comments section down below. And if you guys would do me a large favor and help the channel out and help it grow. We're getting closer and closer to 60,000 subscribers. Just take a quick couple of seconds and like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. And I invite everybody back to see my next video.